Todd and Julie Chrisley have officially been released from prison. OMG. This is what I was all tuned into, like all evening, all afternoon. As soon as I seen news crews starting to line the streets in Pensacola and go live, child, when I tell y'all, I was on them lives like a bloodhound on a trail. Okay, I was all up into them lives. I was snacking. I was doing what I had to do, but I still had the live playing. And y'all, they was random folks. They was people with kids. This was in Pensacola, outside of Todd's prison. They were waiting on Savannah. Savannah had done spoke to, I believe it was Brian Enton from News Nation, and she had done said that she was going to be showing up before she picked Todd up, and she'd be speaking to the media and giving some statements and speaking to fans and things like that, and that she did. Savannah showed up in some Trump gear with her MAGA hat and her coat with that horsehair. Y'all, that's what I noticed. I was sitting there outside swinging like I am right now. I said, look at Savannah in that horsehair. I think it's pretty. Looking like a Barbie doll. Now, I will say this. Savannah took the time to not only meet and speak with fans, she took pictures, she was holding babies. Yes, I could not stop smiling. And that tells you a lot about somebody. You know, when you can see their interactions with people. She was taking selfies with grannies. Yes, people of all ages were outside this prison. There was random dudes going up, like trying to photobomb Savannah, getting their own selfies. It was hilarious. Hilarious. Then Savannah left and went into the prison where she was going to give Todd a change of clothes and he was going to leave. Now, everybody was looking and waiting on that exit. But guess what? Apparently, the prison was either on a Navy base or around it, so Todd got some help from the Navy and left through a back road. Oh, yes. But then Savannah posted these videos to her stories, and you could hear Todd in the background. She never showed Todd because we know he has not had no hair color or no Botox or no fillers. So, me personally, I know Todd Chrisley. I was not expecting to see Todd fresh out of prison. But Savannah was talking about how she was sick and she was, throwing up the whole way home, and he was like, ugh, ugh. And then she was showing his arms. She said, look at this. Todd is jacked. He said, yeah, I know. And then he was cracking me up because he's back to himself, okay? He hadn't changed. He was cracking jokes, throwing shade, telling Savannah, because she said, all I smell is perfume whenever she was puking on the way home in a bag. Don't know why she was puking. Probably just the nerves and stuff of it all. But I guess Todd was spraying her perfume because he said, I smell it. She said, all I smell is perfume. He said, look, I didn't even have to deal with none of this mess in prison. I was cracking up. I was like, this is the Todd Chrisley that I can say that I've missed. The drama, the antics is hilarious to me, and I'm so glad that they're back together. I just want to say that I am. Now, I honestly believe they might have learned their lesson, okay? They spent a long time behind bars, and folks like them ain't used to that lifestyle, child. They was used to driving around in Range Rovers, getting Botox and fillers and, living in mansions. Well, they went straight to the clinker, okay? They went straight to prison. They didn't go to jail. They went to prison, okay? Not just for a couple of days, a couple of months, child. They went to prison for a couple of years, over 2 years to be exact. So maybe they learned their lesson. Maybe they don't want to go back to that life. You know what I'm saying? I had to put this picture up there just because Lindsay Chrisley's hair in the beginning, in the early seasons of when they, started getting famous, when they first got their show. Hilarious. Look at Lindsay's hair. Holy hair. Speaking of this family and TV, did you hear? Oh, they're coming back to TV. New network, new time. Don't know a date yet, but we're going to talk all about it. Lifetime has been filming. Have you heard? Oh, we're about to get into it. People exclusively reports Chrisley family's new Lifetime series is evolving rapidly after Todd and Julie's presidential pardons. From an exclusive source, amid their imprisonment, People announced on May 21st that Lifetime was premiering an all-new series showing how the Chrisley family has navigated the hardship. Now, I literally just heard this like a couple of days ago from a fan and a follower who mentioned it to me, asked me to speak about it, and I was like, well, I haven't heard about it. I need a link. I haven't seen the network confirm it. I need a link. So here we go. We finally have some confirmation. Now that Todd and Julie Chrisley have been pardoned, what does that mean for their family's new Lifetime series? And before you ask, I don't want you wondering, yes, I will be watching very closely. And yes, I'm going to be covering all of it. So be sure you stay tuned. And if you don't want to hear about it, you don't have to click on these videos. I will still be doing my sister wives content, and I'm going to throw other content in the mix too. So there will be a variety, if you will. Amid their imprisonment, People announced on May 21st that Lifetime was premiering an all-new docuseries showing how Chase, Savannah, Grayson, Chloe, and Nanny Faye have navigated the family hardship. Todd and Julie were not initially expected to be involved in the show as they were behind bars. However, on Tuesday, May 27th, President Donald Trump pardoned the longtime couple and Todd was officially released a day later. The legal shift occurred 2.5 years after they reported to prison in January of 2023. With so much up in the air about their new show, a source with knowledge of production now tells People they are adjusting to the changes. The show is still filming and will continue to, though the family situation is evolving rapidly, the source says. Don't you know Lifetime and their camera crews and their production is like, ooh, this will get good now. Because remember, nobody, not even none of us were expecting this. None of us. I remember I literally heard about it the day it happened, the day Trump called Savannah, and I'm like, whoa, what? Do what now? It was like all of a sudden. No one knew this pardon would happen, and the goal is to cover their lives in real time. But things have significantly changed for all of them, and everyone in the family, as well as producers, are trying to figure it out and tell their authentic story, the source continued. The Chrisley family's previous show, Chrisley Knows Best, was very comical, says the source, who points out their new series will be different as they're all in a much different place now. But the producers are used to this, the source adds of the Lifetime crew. It's similar to Wendy Williams. When filming began on her docu-series, they thought they were going to do one kind of a show, and then everything changed. The series, currently named The Untitled Chrisley's Project, comes nearly 3 years after Chrisley Knows Best concluded on the USA Network in March of 2023. Its Chase and Savannah focused spinoff, Growing Up Chrisley, had ended in October of 2022, just a month ahead of Todd and Julie's November 2022 sentencing. Per an official log line from the network, the Chrisleys don't know best anymore, but they're doing their best to be there for each other. The family faces the challenge of carrying on the Chrisley name and legacy on their own with only phone calls and brief visits with their incarcerated parents. While Savannah maintains custody of her younger siblings, Chloe and Grayson, she has been fighting tirelessly for a presidential pardon to free her parents, the synopsis continued. Meanwhile, Chase is addressing some life struggles while building his new business and navigating his relationship with his girlfriend, Jody. Chase has always got some love interest. He's one of those people, I guess, that just cannot be single. The multi-generational bunch will also be exposing the raw truth of their lives, past and present, and the reality is far different from what audiences have seen before. Savannah shared with People earlier this year that her family was working with a production company and things were going great. The Unlocked with Savannah Chrisley podcast host told People, and then there were some things that were done that I did not like. Savannah continued. I backed out, I stepped away, and I said, I'm done. I'm not working. I'm not getting myself in a situation I don't feel comfortable and safe in. Are y'all going to be tuning into this? I literally will be, I'm talking on pins and needles, awaiting for the premiere date on this. We don't have a premiere date yet. I'm looking. Haven't seen one yet. Maybe we'll get one soon since they're out. I'm sure they're trying to get the ball rolling. They're like, okay, now we need to move up the premiere. Curious of when the premiere is. Like, I'm dying to tune into this. I'm just going to go ahead and tell you. Let me know what y'all think in the comments below. Don't forget to like and share this video, and also subscribe if you're new here. Hit that notification bell besides subscribe. Make sure it's set to all so you'll be notified whenever I upload. I love you for watching. I'll see you in my next video or in the comments below.